Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink with more Christmas cards. This time using Simon Says Stamps Santa Claus wafer die. Now this little die set comes in the December 2022 card kit that I've already done a couple videos using, and lots of requests for the Santa, which he was on my list to create with because he's super cute. So this wafer die has I'll call it the base because it's not an outline because it doesn't like frame the image, but it has the base so you can adhere all the little pieces, and then the wafer die that die cuts all of the detail. So I die cut the base from white cardstock and then the face portions from little scraps of white cardstock, and I'm just using my little Gemini mini machine. A lot of people ask me about my opinions on little die cut machines. Pretty much any of them are good. I like having, some form of little tiny die cut machine like this because it's great when you've got smaller dies and you're doing multiple passes, etc. It just makes things easier. So as always, I was going to do multiples because why not when I've got everything out. So I die cut, like I said, the base and the facial features from white cardstock. And then I'm using some of Simon's Positively Velvet Luxury cardstock. This piece of this also comes, like a sheet of this also comes in the kit. And it's fabulous. I was like, okay, I find, since it came in the kit, so I have like what I call an extra, I was going to use it. So I die cut this for, the beard and the mustache and the trim on his hat. So die cut all of those pieces. And then I die cut little tiny pieces of gold glitter cardstock for those little star twinkles that are part of the wafer die. There's no point, in my opinion, running the whole thing through, like die cutting an entire larger piece when I just need it for those tiny little twinkles. So it looks more finicky or sounds more finicky than it is, but it's like I just held the glitter cardstock in place because there's two little star parts in one section and then one on his beard. So I just put the pieces of glitter cardstock under those areas and die cut them. Right now it doesn't look like anything. The pieces were staying in the scrap, which was great. It just kept everything more contained. If this was an even more detailed die, or if I was doing tons of these, I would do what I showed in my last video with the twig and stump wafer dies when you have, multiple pieces. My little pinch bowls or any little containers to keep all the pieces organized. But with this, I just kept them all laying out in front of me because it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, if I was doing 20 of these, I would have my separate containers all laid out, all the pieces organized. Makes life easier. So I'm done my die cutting and I'm taking the little facial pieces. So there's the face, the nose, and the eyes. And I'm just coloring these really, really quick and simple with some Copic markers. If I was to redo this, I would actually just do, and I've shown this in videos, take some of my either washi tape or painter's tape and tape a piece down sticky side up and hold all these pieces on that tape. So I'm not, because I'm trying to hold it with my fingernail basically. Again, not a biggie, but that would make things even easier. And then they would just be contained in one spot. I could quickly add color. You could just die cut from solid pieces of cardstock instead. But I was like, I have all these white cardstock scraps. Why not use more of them up? And my Copic markers are handy. So that's what I did. So I just did, like I said, very simple coloring. Nothing groundbreaking here at all. I added a little extra with my R22 to, rosy up his little cheeks and his nose a little bit. And then I blended that out with R20 and then did a little bit more blending. And then for the eyes, I was just going to color them in the die cut. And you can't really tell, I don't think, on camera, but I wasn't liking it because it was, I didn't want to get the marker to bleed onto the skin portions. So it was just easier to use a piece of washi tape and stick the little bits for the eyes to that and then quickly color them with the marker. And then while I was at it, I was like, I'm going to stick the nose to that piece as well, just to prevent me from losing it, because that's going to happen. So like I said, if I was going to redo this, I would just have, a little bit of sticky tape down, sticky side up and have all these pieces just, you know, on it assembly line style and just slap color on it would have been even faster. So to assemble these, super easy. It's like piecing together a puzzle, but even easier because everything is like, it's all die cut. It's all obvious where everything kind of goes. I just kind of work my way from the top down, you know? So I did the end of his hat with the velvet cardstock. The hat itself, I die cut from red cardstock. And then the next portion of the hat, one of the little sparkly stars. Then I put his beard into place because then that made it easier to show where the face piece lines up. And then fit in his little mustache. And then I just got to add his nose. There's a little piece for the side of his beard right there. Another little star, nose and eyes, and the star in his beard. Those tiny little stars, the easiest way to adhere them. I just put a dab of glue down and then just use my little embellishment wand to like pick up these pieces and press them into place. Done. So, and then I just repeated that process for the other two. So I've got my cute little Santas, and he's got sparkly little stars and velvety little, love it. Love it. Anyway, I then pulled out Simon's embossing folder and die set. This is the Sterling Labels set. And I die cut one of the labels from red cardstock. And then I also die cut it from white cardstock because I wanted the centers white to stamp a sentiment on. And I took one of the like scraps, lined that up in my MISTI with one of the frames just to create a little template so I can stamp the sentiment. With this, it's not as big of a deal. It would be easy to just stick this on the acrylic block and stamp the sentiment on this oval because it's a small sentiment. It's simple, but this works when you're trying to line things up. Doing multiples like this, or, you know, sometimes you need to get it straight, etc. Having a little template like this just helps. So I use my anti-static powder tool. I stamped this little sentiment, and this is from the Simple Holiday Greeting set. I was just like, this is perfect. It's meant to be. So I stamped it with clear embossing ink, coated it with gold embossing powder. Normally, I would just set it aside and do the other two and then melt them all at once. It's just faster. But because these are smaller, and again, it's just guaranteed that I'm either going to lose them in the process or knock them over or whatever. It was just easier to stamp, coat with embossing powder. I'm holding it with my reverse tweezers because this is a very small little piece. Melt the embossing powder, set it aside, keep repeating the process. And again, I could just do this all day, you know, over and over and over again, make a whole bunch of these little sentiment inserts. So once I had them heat embossed, the actual little frame there, again, I die cut them, and then there's the embossing folder that will emboss the details. So I took the embossing folder and I just popped the little red die cut frame right into its coordinating little space. And then I ran this through my die cut machine like I always do for Simon's 3D embossing folders. So for me, it's my Platinum 6 machine, the platform, and 2 metal shims, and it's great. So I've got my frames embossed, my sentiments are stamped. I decided I wanted to use a tag to hold all my elements. So these craft tags were from a previous kit, and I'm kind of obsessed with them still. They are available separately, so I will have a link to them. I just like how they're like a good weight. So I was going to use just the tags as is, but then I was thinking about paint again because I did that on a recent video and I was enjoying it. So I was like, how about I dry brush some paint onto these too? Like, let's bring in a little bit more of the pink. So I took some Spun Sugar Distress Paint, stuck that on my palette, and just took a brush and just dry brushed it onto these tags. I did multiple layers just because this is such a pale pink and this craft is a very dark craft. So I wanted the pink to show up like as actual pink. So because I was dry brushing it on, I just kept going back in and adding, you know, a couple more layers, quick and easy. This didn't take very long. And after I was done, the paint just wipes off my glass work surface. I washed my brush immediately with distress paints and pretty much any acrylic paint. It dries permanently, so make sure to wash your brush. Don't leave it sitting out because once the paint dries in your brush is gone. So even though they're cheaper brushes, still want to take care of them. So did all my little bit of dry brushing onto all of these tags, set them aside to completely dry, cleaned up my work surface, and then I'm using pattern paper that came in that kit, and it's the Candy Cane Lane from Prima. Again, love. So I cut these down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches because this is going to be the same size as the panels I'm going to put on the front of the card. I'd cut down these panels from just some light pink cardstock, and I'm going to put the pattern paper over them, but I want to still see the pink cardstock. So I tore all this pattern paper just along the bottom, and then I can adhere that to each of these panels. So I've got that little bit of pattern paper, which is what inspired the colors of these cards. And then that little bit of pink cardstock peeking out because, like I said, I have no problem using like pink. I love pink for Christmas cards, but then I've also used pink for Halloween. Like, I love pink for anything. But this really pale pink is just, again, chef's kiss. So, adhered the pattern paper to those panels. Then I just took some red baker's twine and attached it to these tags because they need to have something. I can't not have something attached to a tag. It just feels like it's unfinished, you know? So I just, again, tied the baker's twine in a knot, run it through the tag, and that just finished it off for me. So after I had all of the tags basically completed, I'm going to start figuring out my layout and all that. I did that off camera. I also die cut my go-to favorite at Christmas time, the Pine Needle Trio wafer dies. I die cut those from some teal cardstock in my stash. And then I lined them up on the tag, used a piece of washi tape to hold them, flipped them over, added some glue, glued them to the tag. Once these are in place, I use the first one as a template to arrange the next 3. This makes my life so much easier and just makes it a lot faster to adhere these to the next tag. So exact same process. Lined up the little pine needles, added a little bit of washi tape to hold them, put some glue on them, glued them to the tags. And these could just be tags, but I have Christmas cards to make and I prefer cards, but I might have like actual tags coming at some point. I have no idea. Tags are cute too. They're fun, but these I'm attaching to the cards. So once the pine needles were attached, I then attached the tags to these panels, again, just with craft tacky glue. I did all of this without attaching the Santa Claus or the sentiments because I want to add splatter and I didn't want to get splatter on the little Santa Claus elements at all. Yeah, I wanted to leave those kind of pristine. I wanted the splatter to be more for the backgrounds. So I got out my splat box. I'm going to line up these 3 card fronts inside my splat box. And then I'm going to use my Gonzai Tombi Starry Colors palette, of course, with the gold, of course. And I'm going to heavily splatter these backgrounds with my fan brush and the gold watercolor because it's just, again, chef's kiss. So I went around, just added a ton of gold splatter to these because I wanted to bring out more of that gold. You know, I got my little gold stars on the Santa, got gold splatter in the background, a little bit of the gold heat embossing for the sentiment. So then once the splatter was dry, I adhered my little Santa Claus in place and then put them under acrylic blocks to hold them down since I'm adhering them on top of like all these pieces of like the pine needle die cuts, etc. So adhered those, piled them up under, acrylic blocks, or else I've shown in other videos, I'll stick my Misty on top, just anything just to hold it in place, for a few minutes. And then the little frames, I decided to adhere the white cardstock ones behind them just to give it a little bit extra strength, in a sense, a little bit extra dimension, because they're just sitting there and I wasn't going to use them. And I was like, I'll just adhere them. This just gives it that little extra something. So I adhered that to the frames. And then on the very bottom of each frame, I cut some little foam squares into like quarters, just tiny little bits. It just kind of levels them out when I adhere them because I'm adhering on top of the tag, the Santa, etc. So I've got those 2 little bits of foam squares along the bottom and then just the craft tacky glue. And I adhered the little frame into place. And then I popped some foam squares into the center there, and that's where I'll adhere my little sentiment that I had heat embossed. So got that popped into place. And then again, repeated the process for the other 2 card fronts. And then on the insides of my cards, I decided to use the ripped up pieces of pattern paper. I was originally just going to cut down more from the same sheets because I had leftovers, but then I was like, oh, this just works, and it just ties it all together. So waste not, want not. So I adhered those to the insides of my card bases, and my card bases are top folding A2 note cards, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I adhered those pattern papers to the inside, and then I took another sentiment from that simple holiday greetings stamp set, put that on an acrylic block, and I stamped that with Simon's Ocean Positively Saturated ink onto the insides of these cards. And then I'm going to adhere the card fronts to the card base with craft tacky glue. And then of course I'm going to add coordinating bling, like you know it's coming. Anyway, Studio Katia gold sparkle crystals. I have shown these in a lot of videos. They're still my favorites. They're clear crystals with gold glitter in them. Again, chef's kiss. They're perfection. I love it. Plus, it was like an extra little nod to the gold sparkle paper on the Santas. I don't know. I like when things, you know, things don't have to match perfectly, and perfection is overrated. But when you can do things like this, and it was like, oh, it's just perfect, and it makes me happy. So those were the cards. I'm going to show them close up. Oh, and this is another little tip. I just took the washi tape and I just lightly press it on these little Santas because, of course, the velvet, like little bits of, little slivers of cardstock and little, you know, bits of lint, whatever, that want to cling to it. Cleaned him up with the washi tape before I show him off. You know, got to clean him up before he goes out. So there's my little Santa with his velvet goodness, gold sparkle, the embossed frame. I did dry brushing. I did all kinds of stuff on these cards. They were fun. As always, I will have links below the video to all the supplies I used. The kit is still available as of doing this voiceover, so I'll have a link to the kit if anyone's interested, as well as everything available individually. So you can check that out in the description box below the video if you are interested. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye!